Okay, this lesson I want to do about self pity and how I've seen it too many times. Brothers who attribute their suffering, righteous suffering, to being afflicted by Satan, and oh, I'm catching hell through the spirit, and that's how I know the Most High is dealing with me. And no, sometimes you warrant the things that come up, come come your way, even if the person who's doing it is wicked. Yeah, your woman's being a demon, and she could be being a demon, but it could have been something that you did, not necessarily to her. Could have been something that you did somewhere else. Could have been you was consecutively late to camp, lying, making excuses, not looking out for brothers when they're in need. It's the most I could have, you know, your woman become a complete demon to you. I get some verses to support what I'm saying. Uh, this is First Kings. You can follow me to should be chapter 12, I believe. First Kings chapter 11, Salakia. 11 and verse. I'm gonna start and I have to skip. First Kings chapter 11 and verse 1. It says, "But Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love." So this goes into Solomon when he committed adultery, uh, or spiritual adultery, uh, or fornication, shall I say. Uh, Scratch that from the top. This goes into Solomon when he committed fornication with idols and going into idol worshiping. So that's the subject right here. And we're going to see what happened to him as a result to this. I'm going to skip over to verse 13. Might want to start 11. I'm going to start with verse 11. First Kings 11 and 11. Wherefore Yahweh said unto Solomon, For as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant. So that's one of the punishments that was said that would be bestowed upon Solomon for committing adultery. We're going to keep reading. Verse 12, Notwithstanding in thy days, I will not do it for David thy servant's sake, but I will rend it out of the hand of thy son. Howbeit, I will not rend away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son for David my servant's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. Verse 14, And Yahweh stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. So that Most High stirred up an adversary to Solomon for what he had did committing adultery. And the Most High can do the same thing with you. You could had, went off, uh, let's say, uh, ate pork intentionally, committed adultery, uh, what's that? Any type of sin or common sin you can think of. Have sex with your woman while she's on her menstrual, or what have we? Anything that you know is wicked and is going into breaking the law and not keeping the Most High's laws and His commandments. Most likely stir up an adversary so damn quick on your ass and you won't even know what hit you. And so now an adversary is stirred up unto you, and you're not even attributing that to a sin that you brought upon yourself or something that you did. You just, oh, the Most High, you know, I'm catching hell through the Spirit, brothers, and you catching hell because of what you did. You know, Most High can stir up an adversary with your job, with your boss. Something so simple as that, just because something that you did. And now I'm gonna read this in Lamentations. This is Lamentations, chapter 3, and verse uh 3 and verse 39. Lamentations 3 and 39. Wherefore doth a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins? How you gonna sit here complaining about the punishment for your sins when you suffering and you going through what you going through because you sinned? Sometimes you have to sit back, do some seriously self-reflecting instead of always blaming everybody else and having self-pity on yourself and, oh, woe is me, woe is me. Yeah, we got to go through this furnace, but sometimes you unnecessarily bring hell upon yourself. It's not and the hell that you catch isn't always going to be directly related to the hell that you dished out. You could have did something like you know I don't know, let's say you turned away a widow or something like that, or something that you know uh somebody who was in need and they were sincere and they came unto you, you turned them away. It doesn't necessarily mean that this same thing will happen to you. Most I could strike you with a sickness or illness, and you can't get rid of it. And you thinking, and you might not even necessarily have the discernment to understand that you're sick because of what you did. You know, I'm gonna read it again. It says, "Wherefore doth a living man complain, a man for the punishment of his sins?" Because we deserve whatever hell that we went through. We deserve it. Best believe we deserve it. Job, the book of Job. Job felt like he did not deserve. You know, he didn't want to even want to live. He felt like he was right. Bad stuff's supposed to happen to evil people. I'm righteous. I'm good. Everything that any punishment that we get, we deserved it. You got a flat tire, guess what? You deserved it. You might not know why. You know how you as a child, you get a whooping and your parents tell you why you getting a whooping. Sometimes, you might not be able to hear what the spirit is telling you and understand why you getting this chastisement. Okay, you keep getting fired from your job, that could be chastisement for something else. You want to make sure you always constantly examine yourself in this thing, and you got to take that mirror. You know, modern day people, they really take a physical mirror and they just love looking at themselves. You got to actually look at yourself and look for your flaws and try to make them, you know, deal with them and try to make them go away. Work on them. Don't just say, hey, yeah, yep, this just what the portion of the Most High gave me. No, you got to work on it. And on that note, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Akakodash, Double Honor to the elders of GMS who well. Peace, salutations, and shalom.